Broncos country, we are live and we are happy because in the house tonight are Cody Roark from Locked On Broncos, Coach Mike Sanford, Altitude Sports. This show is going to be crazy. It's going to be wonderful. It's a competition, but it's a friendly competition, guys. We're just here to have a good time. It's like playing golf with your friends. Nothing to be. Did you guys lose sleep over this last night? Honestly, just tell me.
I haven't slept in 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah,
Studying
I mean,
up?
I get to. This is the first chance I've had to do any real content with the voice of God himself, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, it was tough getting Shefty here. Ian Rappaport was out starting fights with Schultz. So I got Shefty tonight for you. Yeah.
You got Shefty. Hey, much better looking than Shefty though. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Hey.
Cody Roark's got a face for TV and a voice for radio. Yeah, he's the man.
I bet I could move a little bit better than Schefter too, per sources. So
is the ACL all healed up, Cody?
No, completely shredded. I actually just saw a physio and they confirmed, hey, completely shredded. The LCL's got a little bit of strain on their meniscus, but I got good quads, luckily. So this is something I've had for a few years. So I still go to the gym every day. So
which ones are quads for me? Like for a guy like me, what's a quad?
You know what quads are. Come on, Mike.
Come on, let's go.
You look at Saquon Barkley. He's got quads.
Ashton Genty, man. I know that from my
Boise State.
Alma mater. He's
right.
a Boise State Bronco right there, man. Let's hold on. Tell me I don't
Look
know
at that.
anything about Ashton Genty. Get the heck out of here with that. Hey, I know this about Ashton Genty. He's not going to be available at 20. I'll tell you that.
No, apparently he is not going to be available at 20 to the chagrin of all of Broncos country, but to the joy of Broncos country, we are here tonight. It's a media battle. It's a Broncos media battle. And, I make up all the rules as I go, guys, so don't worry about all that. And, Cody, I hate to tell you, Sarah won. So Locked On's 1-0. I don't know if I can let you get away with 2-0. We'll never get over
we got to go
the Shefty thing, and then he's winning. It's just we'll never hear the end of it. So it's going to be up to you to beat Coach Mike
Carmelini. Mike, is this scored very similar to like Around the Horn, where it's completely
I ripped this off from Around the Horn. Yeah.
Okay.
Love for bringing that up. That's a painful memory, and that costs you 1 point. You are now.
That's perfect, Mike. As before we proceed forward, can you just tell me what you want to be the outcome, just so I can at least enjoy it while it's going on?
Sure.
Who do you want to win this? Just because that's really what happens with Around the Horn styles of media battles.
So you weren't planning on enjoying this. You want to enjoy. Look, it's not the outcome. It's like you're my children. I love all my kids equally. I don't have a preference. I just want you guys to be happy and safe. That's all I want.
Okay.
And to be safe, we have to talk about the State of the Union.
Mm-hmm.
And as we sit here on February 27th, 2025, Cody, I'll start with you. Broncos country should be happy, right? We're in a good place. The draft sets up well for us. We got a coach and a quarterback. Give us your State of the Union address.
Yeah, I think this is an exciting time if you're a Broncos fan right now, because you were hoping last year you're going to figure out, can Bo Nix play? Can Bo Nix beat the guy? And I think certainly we saw enough to indicate just that here with Sean Payton. But I think another thing as well is now you enter free agency, you have some flexibility, you have a lot of your core pieces on this roster intact, and you have a lot of youth on this team. But now you have the opportunity to go out there and add in free agency, and you have your draft capital this year. I'm very, very curious to see, maybe how the roster kind of benefits from maybe having these young guys back and what Bo's going to look like in his second year. Can you find a way to get some pieces around him that's going to help him continue to elevate? That's going to be the big key. But I think things are more exciting right now than they have been since Super Bowl 50. Granted, those years between Super Bowl 50 and now haven't been great. This is a bright spot.
Yeah, well done. Coach, what do you say? What's your State of the Union as we sit here today?
Well, I think the State of the Union for the Broncos, coming off of a very exciting and a very surprising 2024 campaign. For me, it was the emergence of a very, very strong defensive unit. And Vance Joseph, for me, was the MVP of 2024. I think that he did an unbelievable job of overcoming as a coach. It's really challenging to have the type of performance that he had as a defensive coordinator in Miami in 2023. A lot of times you lose the locker room. Certainly you can lose a fan base in a state, a city. And he just about did that, but overcame that in 2023. But we're talking about 24. And I think that the storylines coming into 24 certainly was, can Bo Nix be the quarterback for Sean Payton? The answer is he is a perfect, I'm talking perfect, not just system fit, personality fit to deal with the type of coaching that Sean Payton does employ, which is not typical of the 2025 NFL head coach. Just look around. They're all younger. They're all a little bit more Gen Z millennial-like. And
okay.
So it was about getting the right quarterback from a personality standpoint to deal with all that is Sean Payton. And that was Bo Nix, and he did it perfectly. The other piece of the puzzle for 24 was, I think the schedule looked challenging going into the season. When you looked at the schedule draw, you're like, oh, man, Atlanta's going to be really good. Kirk Cousins, he's going to be cooking. You didn't realize how bad the NFC South was going to be. You just truly do not know about what the 25 draw is going to be like until you get into the season and start playing those games. So I don't think it's a shoo-in that the next logical step for the 25 Broncos is to make the playoffs, because you just did it with the State of the Union in 24. You're going to have to take the next right steps, and I think that's going to be humongously impacted by this draft.
Good Lord, dude. Why don't you just come here to compete and win? Let's go, Cody. All right. You know what?
That was a great start. Hot start. Fire.
Hot start. Fire. I do want to, I guess the only thing I would want to comment on that was Vance Joseph did have to overcome a lot, especially in the second half of the season. That December run was rough. There wasn't a lot going right for the defense in the last month of that of the season. But we could do a whole show on why that was. And it wasn't Vance Joseph doesn't know how to call defense anymore. So great points, both of you guys. Close game. Let's keep it going. Good job. Good take, bad take, guys. I've tried to ask just about everyone this one, just to get everybody's kind of measure on that. But so I'm going to, obviously you see the take. Bo Nix is going to be a top 10 quarterback next season. He's middle of the pack right now, I think, fairly anywhere from, let's go 16 to 20th. I don't know, something like that. He's somewhere around in there.
Fair.
We could debate that all night too. But my take is that I think if George and Sean get him a few weapons, another offseason under the belt, I'm saying that he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. Cody, let's start with you. Too soon for that?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's certainly a possibility. But to your point, there's going to have to be a lot of moving pieces that happen in order for that to be possible. Look, I think for Bo, looking back at 2024, all right, keep in mind, he didn't throw his first touchdown pass until week 4 against the New York Jets. And it was a dicey one in the rain there. For him to finish with 29 passing touchdowns, to surpass Baker Mayfield's second all-time by a rookie in passing touchdowns in NFL history, that's big. 2 shy behind Justin Herbert. To have 34 all-purpose touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown from Cortland Sutton. Bo exceeded expectations, and Bo played really well. Like, you look at the offense, Bo, for a large portion of the season, was the reason the offense was going. Now, you get Bo, I think, a good run game, good running backs. You get him a security blanket like tight end, or even it's a veteran option. And you maybe even add another receiver to the mix, or one of these guys like Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, Marvin Mims continue to take next steps forward. I think Bo has all the tools to go out there and really light it up here in 2025. I think he can be a top 10 quarterback. It's all contingent upon what the Broncos do this offseason, though, in my opinion.
Nice job, Cody. Well done. Coach, thoughts on that? Bo top 10 next year?
I'm going to go bad take. And I don't think he's going to be too far outside of the top 10. But if you really do look at the top 10 quarterbacks, it's tough to find the guys that Bo Nix, say he's at 15 right now. It's hard to find the 5 or 6 guys that he's going to jump above. And it's also going to be really hard to keep a couple of them that either didn't play this past season or had some injuries or dealt with a lot of different things. It's going to be tough to fend them off. But I do agree with Cody's take that I think Bo Nix is a plus talent from an athletic standpoint, from an intellectual standpoint. His makeup is off the charts good. It's a great fit for Sean Payton. I do think that if Bo Nix can be surrounded by really, really good pieces that enhance what he already has, then yes, I do think he can be a really good player. He needs more, in my opinion, for Sean Payton's offense to work. And I'm talking about work to be in the top 10 offenses in pro football, which it wasn't close to this year. That's a reality. Statistically, we're not a top 10 offense in pro football. The quarterback is the catalyst for that oftentimes. But for Bo Nix to be that guy in Sean Payton's office, it requires run after catch players. And you need to have run after catch players, certainly at the running back position. You've got to have probably one more at the receiver position, or you got to really invest in Marvin Mims Jr. You got to say, that's going to be my run after catch dude. And you got to find it at the tight end position. There's no question about it. Yeah. And the guy that I see it at the tight end position right now in the draft that could come at a fairly valuable premium is Harold Fannin Jr. as a run after catch tight end. Maybe not going to get him in the first round. Certainly that'd be humongous reach. But if you get him in the second, possibly even in the third, I think you have a chance to give, those arrow routes that Bo Nix likes to throw, those quick routes to the sideline, those, snag routes, stick routes. Those are opportunities for a guy like Harold Fannin Jr. to turn up in his shadow, get vertical, puncture the defense, and give Bo Nix more first downs.
Wow, strong. Cody, do you have anything on that at all to add?
No, I think Coach summarized it, relatively well here. You need these pieces of your offense.
Just relatively well. Yeah.
Relative to
Sean
a little too much. I found myself saying that.
Well, relatively well is different than relative to. They're two completely different.
That's the Sean Payton relative to the last show.
Cody, can I ask you a quick question, Cody? I've been wanting to ask you this. I'm not the guy that's I'm fighting my ass off to not get too inundated with advanced analytics. All right. Especially at the quarterback position. And I know that's been a big conversation surrounding Bo Nix.
Yeah.
A couple of the stats that Bo Nix, just the analytics didn't like his season tremendously well. They didn't hate his season, but didn't like his season, and especially if we talk the top 10 quarterback conversation. Completion percentage over expected, right? That's a big one that gets thrown around way too often. I think Bo Nix was in the kind of like tail end of the 20s with the NFL stats in CPOE. In a lot of the metrics of what he had, average target and average separation of target was top 5 for Bo Nix, which is shocking. I thought that was nuts. But I think it was more of a Sean Payton offensive masterclass this year in creating completable balls where you don't get much credit in addition to throwing to an open guy in a very standard area of the field. What do you make of what did we see in 2024 of Bo Nix as a plus thrower of the football for those types of throws that are required against elite defenses or elite teams like we saw in Buffalo, where it just didn't come to fruition?
Yeah, I think so much of it is spacing, right? That could be another element of it within your offense. I could tell you, Coach, being at practice and watching them do like their offensive installs, routes on air, where it's no defenses out there. I do feel like at times Peyton's route concepts with the receivers sometimes can be a little too long developing. And granted, there's going to be different rules for this. This obviously as an offensive-minded guy. You get a certain coverage, you get a certain shell with your safeties. It may change what your route is based on the play call, right? You have all these different rules that your receivers have to know, but on top of that, your quarterback has to know. I feel like for Bo, there's times where I think footwork was a little bit of the bigger issue for him for a good portion of the first half of the season. I felt like as the season went on, he started to settle in more. You still saw some sporadicness from time to time, but I started to see a little bit more confidence. I think really in that Cincinnati game too, that launch to Marvin Mims, you started to see him leading receivers. I think early on in training camp, there was a little bit of struggles between chemistry and throwing behind him a little bit. So much of the timing, right? Your drop back, right? And your footwork, all those things play a factor into it that I think Sean Payton has done a really good job of kind of coaching and getting him on that a little bit. And even Bo said to us at the end of the year, he said, Sean did a lot to protect me, didn't throw me under the bus in certain situations. I still think that there's this mentality here where he can continue to grow. But I think so much of the system, Sean, for as good of a coach as he is sometimes, he also gets in his own way. And I also think that can impact the flow of the offense. So I think, you look at completion percentage over expected, you look at average depth of target. That was one of the bigger critiques that people had. It was always got a low ADOT. Well, the reality is you have to take what the defense gives you unless you want your guy forcing it into triple coverage, double coverage, because really defenses were taking away the deep stuff, right? Later on in the season on third down, teams are playing a corner outside leverage on Cortland Sutton, a safety over the top, and a linebacker just kind of spying inside and saying, hey, third down, we know, Bo, you like to go to number 14, so we're going to do whatever we can. Beat us with somebody else. And Denver didn't have the guys, I think, that did that consistently enough last year, which I think impacts all of that.
Oh. And thanks, Coach, for driving the show for me for a minute. I'm all caught up over here. Appreciate that. You know?
Can you take some points off that for me?
I deducted points for
Okay,
you.
thank you.
We're not score watching anymore, though. You know, I think I was thinking the other day that Sean Payton replaced all the windows in his house with screens because he just freaking loves them. They don't work that well, but he loves screens, man. There was a time last
They didn't
season
work
where-
until really late last year. I mean, we used to see the DT Manning to DT screen
Oh, yeah, it
all
was
the
gold.
time. And
It was gold.
but I mean, ever since
They
that
figured it out.
ended, Denver has not been a good screen running team. It's to the point it's like, stop running it. It's not working. Just throw it out your playbook for a couple of weeks and maybe circle back to it. Then they found one that works, so that's good.
Yeah, they did. All right, guess what time it is? We are going famous Broncos. I hope that blew your ears out, Coach. That'll teach you.
No, it's just that, guys, I missed this entire part of the Broncos.
Are you making excuses? That's another
Yes, I am.
deduct.
Yes,
Ladies
I'm
and gentlemen,
making-
we have a tie game. Let's go.
My man was coaching, game planning, dealing with all the craziness.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What
Coach, I
years?
gave you this is the most cupcake.
I didn't study.
game.
I didn't study.
You don't
okay?
need to study. You just need to be a human male who lived on the planet for the last 10 years, and you're going to be fine.
When you're coaching football at the college level and you're fighting for your football existence on a daily basis,
No.
you don't live on this planet, just for the record. All
Okay.
right.
It's brutal.
And Mike, I just, what were the years that we're really talking here?
All of them.
So from
For,
like,
for this segment, we are literally talking all of Broncos history.
Oh,
Here
man,
we go. Cody,
that's
going to
be interesting.
Let's do this. This is going to be sweet.
I'm only 30 years old, by the way. So
Shut up. Shut up.
We're
That's
gonna
a
see where
that's
this
a
is.
deduct. That's a deduct for making me feel older than I already do. Oh, that's not a Broncos coach. I'm sorry. That picture comes up every week. I don't know how that happens. It's just
I wonder what happened.
It's just in my. All right,
did
guys,
this
I'm going to
happen?
show you don't you be Googling this stuff, Michael. I'm watching you.
No, I'm making sure that. Okay, here you go. Phone's good. I was retweeting this broadcast here.
All right, thank you. Please do that. Good Lord. All right,
there we go.
Cody Roark, Locked On Broncos. Here's your first coach. I am telling you, this is if you guys don't get these right, at least the first 10, you know what? A million points off. Cody
Mike
Roark.
Shanahan.
All right,
Easily.
see,
Shanny,
you
the
cranked
goat.
up.
I ran into Shanny a couple of months ago. So yeah, easy.
So then you recognize him, even though you're only 30.
Easily.
Crybabies.
I watched
never
him as a kid.
You football guys kind of cry a lot. You realize
Give me
that,
some
right?
Dan Reeves, baby,
Give some Dan Reeves for a point. Look at this. So easy.
with young Johnny.
Coobs.
All
Very
right.
Kubiak. If
Back
anyone
to you,
gets that
Coach.
right, I'd be embarrassed.
Back to you, Coach.
Can you go back real quick to that last one? Do you know who his partner in crime was?
His partner
Ace.
in crime. Ace.
Yeah, Ace. That's what we're gonna call the Joker from now on. Is Ace.
You're pushing the Ace thing already.
Yeah, Ace and Gary. All right,
We'll
continue,
get
please.
to it, Coach. At ease. We'll get to it. This is for you, Coach.
That's
Easy.
that's an old. I crossed paths with him at the Sanford facility there for a bit. That's my man right there, Vic Fangio. Nice,
You guys
fine
are just-
Italian man.
You know, such a big name droppers on the show tonight. It's kind of cringe.
Hey, he swung for the
yeah,
fence.
I
and
ran
made a
into
deal with it.
Shanahan last week, and we were just chatting about old Vic too.
He was getting a haircut. John
Cody,
Fox,
this is
easily.
John Fox.
Super Bowl champ.
Told you, man. These are cupcakes. There
No,
we
not a
go.
Super Bowl champ.
That's for you,
That's
Coach.
my man. That's the superhero Vance Joseph. That's BJ, baby.
Jay, most valuable coach. There's a
Oh
walk in
man,
park.
the
There's a
hoodie,
little
Josh
history for you.
McDaniels, worst thing ever to happen to Broncos country.
Oh,
We're seeing
All
that
we're
happen to the
trying to
Raiders
do is win
franchise too.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was nice that he went there and almost finished. He could maybe he'll go to the Chiefs next and finish that sweep. Who we got, Coach? Here you go. There's a tough one.
I know that one.
This is
Say
a
hi,
head coach. This is
Cody.
a head coach for the Broncos.
You know the question. These are head coaches.
The heck?
I know that one.
Too long. Cody, you can steal for a point.
Studesville.
That is
Coach Stoods, interim head coach.
Eric Studesville?
Eric
Wasn't it Eric?
Studesville.
If there's anybody who should know interim head coach,
I was going to say, if anybody should know anything about, you stole my line. I literally had that one in the can. That's another deduct for Coach. I really wanted you to win this. Now you're getting your ass kicked. Cody, to you. This is where it gets a little tougher.
Oh, Jesus, so blurry. I can't even see. Honestly,
don't blame it on the blur.
That's a deduct.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it looks like George Payton, but it's not George Payton one bit.
It's definitely not George Payton.
I don't know who it is.
All right. No idea?
No
Coach,
idea.
That is Lou Saban.
Oh, my
You ever heard
gosh.
of him?
Are you kidding me?
Lou Saban.
That was my dad's boss.
Have you ever heard the name Lou Saban?
That was my dad's boss.
God, I hate being 90 years old.
Hey,
we're
listen
name
to this,
dropping
Mike.
again. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm dead serious.
Let me get you a solo screen so I can just get you up there and get rid of us.
Thank
off
you.
the screen.
That was my dad's boss at Army. My dad was he coached at West Point in 1979 and 1980.
Wow,
and
that is
Lou
awesome.
Saban. I've never seen a picture of Lou Saban. I've just heard his name.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. These last ones are not really gettable, so don't feel bad. Whose turn is it? Coach?
Yeah, it's me.
There you go. Out of these, this is the one. This is the one you should get out of any of these if you're going to get one.
I got nothing.
No, sorry, Cody.
Red Miller?
It is Red Miller. Well
Golly.
done. Let's go. Let's go.
Got some Vermeil vibes though.
That haircut is Vermeil, is it not?
Solid.
Love it.
Yeah, get the waves going.
All right, here's two that don't count, but I threw them up here. This guy's name.
Jeez.
Does anybody know before I say
It's Jimmy the Fixer.
It's Jimmy the Fixer, and he was a head coach for like a year and a half, and I think he got arrested or something.
What's
I have
his
no
name?
idea. His name's Jack Faulkner, and I put this guy up because he's got the coolest name of any Broncos head coach ever. His name is Mac Speedy.
Huh.
And
Speedy.
then the first head coach in Broncos history ever. Anybody have an idea for a bonus point?
Oh, shoot.
No,
I can't
don't have a
remember.
picture of him. I don't even think they had cameras back then, but his
I
name
don't
was
even know that.
Frank
Was it-
Philchak.
Was this back in the AFL days?
Frank Philchak. Guys, next week, just a quick announcement after that little segment. Frankie Abbott from Let's Talk Broncos, Carl Dummler from Mile High Huddle.
Somebody's got
This
to
is gonna
ID
be
that guy.
This
Gotta-
is going to be that's going to be a draft centric show.
Frankie's going to be
he's
carded
21.
for life. He's going to be
21.
carded for life. I
Is
guarantee.
he a
21.
He's a pinky out drinker, is he?
He did that on purpose. Shut up, Mike. Coach, here we go. You win. You're the smart one. We had a little talk about replacing Joker. It was on your show this morning. Great show, by the way. Enjoyed
Thank
that. Connor McGahee was on. Yes, doing the announcement. You guys did the incomplete chant right in the studio. Probably for the first time ever, you replicated the chant with the PA, which was that was historic. So I was there for that. It felt good. But I thought I'd put the poll out, and it turns out that they liked your ace better than my Riddler, 60 to 40%. So deduct one more point from Coach for making me look bad on my own poll.
Hey, Mike, real quick. Can I talk real quick? Am I allowed to?
You've been doing it the whole show. Why stop now? Let's go, Coach.
I'm getting a little gun shy because I don't want to drive your show. But it is a podcast, and I think it's it's good to share ideas, and have conversing generally is a good thing, right? On a podcast. So, you know why I came up with Ace? You want to know why, Mike?
Because you're better than everyone. I don't know.
No. A joke. How many roles can a joker?
A joker and an ace, like a card.
Yeah. How many jokers? How many roles can a joker? Like, how many different cards can a joker be?
2.
Jokers can be anything, right? They can.
No, a joker's a joker. There's two jokers, a big joker and a little joker.
I'm saying, but what cards can they replace in the deck?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, they can be like anything. Yeah,
anything, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
like, if you have
wild, and all
jokers, it's a true wild card. It could be any single card. Now, an ace. How many roles can an ace play in a game of blackjack?
All right, Ace and Gary. I mean,
2.
still.
No, it can only play 2 roles. And the thing that I mean about, and I know I'm kind of being semi-funny here, but
no, I get your meaning.
It's 21. So it's either 11 or 1. That's what an ace is in blackjack, right? Sean Payton's talking about basically 2 positions. He's talking about a tight end or a running back. And all he needs those guys to do is be plus pass catchers in those 2 positions. So you're either an 11 or a 1. You're either, and so you can play two roles. You're a good blocker and you're an elite matchup issue as a tight end, or you're a good runner of the football like Alvin Kamara was, and you're a really good pass catcher. So that's why I go. I'm going with ace.
Is Tyler Warren your ace in the hole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing about him, is because he's at 6'6", 261 pounds.
A monster.
Elite running back. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Like the ability to bend and make guys miss, to square tacklers up and run through an arm tackle for a guy that's 6'6" to bend like that. It's unheard of. And he's a big time pass catcher. He's a huge red zone threat. And he's a great blocker. He is more of actually the J word, because he can play so many different roles. He's a great quarterback. I mean, really was a high school quarterback. This guy he's going to go top 7 though. I really believe that, because he has that much value.
And especially after what happened last year with the Raiders. What's his name? Tight end.
Rock
and roll.
Yeah, well done, both of you guys. Let's just touch on just a couple things real quick, shall we? We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. Would you guys bring in Najee Harris for a look, or any other running backs?
I would bring in Najee Harris if it was, it just depends on the deal, right? What's the running back contract market like? It's nothing like Derrick Henry. It's nothing like Saquon Barkley. But hey, if you're saying you can get a guy like Najee Harris in on a 2-year, maybe $10 million deal, I would do it. I think Najee has steadily improved over the last couple of years. That Matt Canada offense that they used to have, I think, was a huge issue, and he still found ways to garner yardage. I think he would be an explosive change of pace guy with physicality that the Broncos simply don't have right now.
Yeah, I love that take. I would say, just real quick before you take over, Coach, if you don't mind if I talk for a second. I did go back and watch a bunch of his tape from last year on the recommendation of somebody, and he looked way better than I thought he was. I was not expecting that. So good on him. Coach, what do you think? Najee Harris? Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm not going to name drop, but I might know the player pretty well. I might have recruited him a couple years back. Najee Harris, very, very tall. Think Latavius Murray in terms of, kind of length, size kind of ratio.
Last 100-yard rusher for the Broncos at running back.
Yep.
Stat.
I wonder a little bit
point
about
for you, Cody.
I wonder what his fit would be like in a Sean Payton offense. He would be the most talented running back without question. I don't know about the fit with the schemes. I personally think that Najee Harris is a really good wide zone runner. He's a one cut, get vertical type of player. He's a slasher, and I just didn't see the commitment to wide zone from Sean Payton this year. It seemed like there was a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none run game in terms of the scheme.
Yeah, I like that. Well done. I guess I don't want to spend too much time on running backs, but just to touch on Javante's gone, right? Is he coming back? Everybody's mixed. I say he's not coming back, but depending on what they do and what they find, he's kind of a little bit of. Obviously, he was a security blanket in pass protection and the dump offs. So I mean, there's a chance he comes back. If he does, what would you be on that? Rate that move 1 to 10. If they
love it, if you get a sweetheart hometown discount, because I don't think he's going to.
You're going to have to. He's not getting money anywhere else.
He's not commanding money anywhere else. So why not continue him as a third down pass protecting back? He knows the system.
Samaje Perine role that the Chiefs.
And I don't remember who said that, and maybe it was you, Cody, but I did read that, and that was the first time where I went, well, now in that role, that might be nice to have him.
I think it was good.
On the first show of this episode, I made my prediction that only 2 of those backs are coming back, and it was not Javonte. Was not one of them. Let's
be Jaleel and Audric. Is that you have?
That is who I had coming back.
Yeah. I mean, they're the two best backs.
At least for camp, they'll be here. Okay, what do we have here? We've got Brandon Marshall and a Danny Trevathan.
Wesley Woodyard.
What's a 50? Woodyard. Oh, well, there's a point. Let's go, Cody. Fight. Love it.
Now we got an Austin Calitro now. There we go.
All right, here we go. Oh my God. Don't start pulling. That's actually kind of impressive. All right, let's skip that because you guys have been yapping so much. Let's go to this. You guys are good yappers. I like that. Are the Broncos going to be a top 10 team next season? Coach, try and say something positive for once tonight, would you?
The Denver Broncos are going to be a top 10 team in the National Football League if they can get over the hump of the Los Angeles Chargers. because if you look at this season, when I got to about game 8 of this season, I saw that if the Broncos can at least show signs that they're going to take over in the AFC West as at least the next best team behind the Chiefs, which until they're dethroned, they're still the kings of the AFC West, and they're the kings of the AFC as we stand here today. The Broncos have to, I'm talking have to have a better offseason and better acquisitions than Jim Harbaugh and what he's cooking in Los Angeles. I'm also a little concerned about what's going on in Vegas, because if this Stafford world is accurate, the entire AFC West is challenging.
It's flipped.
There are no gifts. There are no gift victories. So if you can get to spot 2 in the AFC West, you are a top 10 team. The Broncos can do that with the right offseason acquisitions.
Yep. Well done. Cody, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Coach. That's the biggest thing. And for the Chargers, Denver competed with the Chargers, not in the first half of that first game. They had that double-digit lead in that second game. They let that get away from them. They had no answer for Ladd McConkey. That was one of the most frustrating things to see here. And if they go out and they add a guy, let's say they trade for T. Higgins, because if the Bengals actually franchise tag him and he's not coming back to Cincinnati, the Chargers, they might trade maybe their first-round pick. I don't know. Maybe their second-round pick for T. Higgins in that situation. That makes them scary. They go out and they add a big-time playmaking wide receiver alongside Ladd McConkey. And they may even get a tight end. They may even go get Colston Loveland if they keep their first-round draft pick there. Denver would have to have a big offseason to do that. I agree with Coach. You have to somehow dethrone the Chargers from that spot. Luckily, you play the AFC South this year. You do play some of those third-place teams, but that's not going to be easy. You're going to play the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be a tough matchup as well. So it's not going to be a cakewalk.
No.
Man, it's hard to say. As much as I'd love to say that Denver's going to be a top 10 team next year, I don't think they need to be. I think they at least need to be a top 15
12,
to top 12 team.
14 to 12, get the playoffs.
Get in the dance and then make some
playoffs.
noise. So, yeah, that's where my stance is on that.
I agree with both of you. I put it at 10 because I think that's where the conversation gets tough. And that is it. All right, let's spend 2 minutes on this because we have to. Coach, is it Miller time? They're going to release Miller. He's going to be available. Do we even consider this at 58 years old to bring Von Miller in for a year on a rental?
Yes, I'm down for Miller time. And the reason
that's the right answer.
The reason I've gone for Miller time is that I want to get 8 sacks from Von Miller, and over the course of 17 games, regular season games, Von Miller, if he averages 18 to 26 snaps per game and gets 8 sacks, major victory.
Right.
Could you imagine in Power Field when he gets his first sack?
Oh yeah, it would just be awesome. Let's be honest.
And then he retires a Bronco.
He's going to retire a Bronco anyway. So right,
but like legitimately, right? Which would be a whole lot of fun. And
that would.
I love. This is my biggest pro Von Miller take is a guy like Nick Bonito who's still impressionable. Might have lost his outside linebacker coach, by the way, who did a good job coaching him. But my goodness, I don't know what happened. To have somebody that is such an expert in his craft as a pass rusher and knows the catalog of offensive tackles in the National Football League, that's a benefit for Nick Bonito.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be an overall win for the Broncos.
Yeah. And every practice would be like Von's pass rush camp. That's incredible, right? Cody,
amazing.
Thoughts on Von Miller?
Hey, we just did an episode on Locked On Broncos, and we sold ourselves on it. It was relatively easy to do.
Talk yourself into it. Yeah,
he's 36, right? He's not going to get a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year deal. I think at this point he's going to get a 1-year contract. The last 2 years in Buffalo, he didn't start a single game for them. He was in a rotation role. So he comes in as a rotational guy here. Look, Jonah Ellis just had shoulder surgery not too long ago. You love Dondre Tillman. You might need 5 guys at that position. You're telling me you're not going to go out there and
is Von Miller not the 5th best pass rusher you can find? Right?
Get Von in, as Coach said there. Look, here's the other thing too. Nick Bonito loves Von Miller.
Loves him.
Nick's told me a million times that's my favorite player. He raves about him. You bring him in that situation, and Denver's defense gets drastically better. You get the nostalgia factor, and here is the selling point too. 10 years ago, where was Super Bowl 50? It was in Santa Clara. 10 years later, Super Bowl 60. Where is it? Santa Clara. Von
Let's
Miller's
go.
last ride. You can't write a better Hollywood script. I'm all in on Von Miller. Will it happen, though? I don't know. Probably not. But you know what? If it's possible, why not entertain it?
Let's go. Let's do it. I love that. You know what? I have to point out now, Broncos country, I do know that there is a drinking game where every time I say let's go, you take a drink, and I apologize for your level of inebriation right now. All right. 2-point game. Well done, gentlemen. So source tells me things are not close with the Broncos and Court right now, at least as of last weekend. And I couldn't get a percent out of this person, but I was told gut, and I was shocked by this, but his gut told him that he did not think Court was coming back next year. Now, this is one source, who knows, but I still disagree, and I don't want to believe it. How damaging would that be, Coach, if Court does not come back next year? That's a big deal, right?
It's massive
He's
deal.
Bo's whoopee, for heaven's
Do you want to
sake.
know why it's a massive deal?
I already know why. I want to hear you tell Broncos country why.
Because who else? You ain't getting
Nobody.
in the free agent market. Where's the player? Where are you going to find
No.
a Sean Payton 6'4+ body type that's proven in the National Football League?
Yeah.
Where are you going to find? Is that guy exist even in this draft? Does it? I mean, Emeka Egbuka is the slot, guys. He's not a massive human being. You know, Luther Bird and everybody's like, oh man, he's got big time ball skills. He's not a big human being
It's
either.
not Cooper Kupp. I mean,
Not Cooper
No.
Kupp. I mean, he's gonna have to go visit the wizard. He's gonna have to get down the yellow brick road to find some new joints and some new oil.
Let's
I don't know who it is. I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And so you know who's got a little bit of leverage right now?
Court.
Freaking Sutton.
No,
Yeah.
he's got leverage.
He does.
But
QB proof, I
I
think.
can see Bo Nix literally at 25 years old walking in Sean Payton's office saying, I don't care what you have to do, man. I need the guy.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think he's not number one receiver extraordinaire, but he's a damn fine receiver. He's 30 years
He is.
old. It's a tough position to be in because 30-year-old receivers, the drop-off's coming. It's very rare. But it's a tough place for the team to be in. It's a tough place for Court to be in. Court wants some security and some money. The team knows he's at the end, but man, I would love to see them get a 1B or a 1 and Court's 1B or something and just keep him there.
That's the dream.
Cody, talk to me. Tell me, make
I mean,
me feel better. Because I know you
look at-
I know you
yeah.
have a different impression of this.
Yeah, no, I think it would be absolutely asinine for Cortland Sutton not be in Denver in 2025. You talk about Bo Nix, okay, the guy who developed the most chemistry there with Cortland Sutton from the onset there. Cortland, the captain in the locker room, so loved by his teammates, loved by Bo, and you're just going to go ahead and get rid of Bo Nix's best target, in hopes that maybe Devon Vele takes another step forward. That would be a ridiculous strategy. In my opinion, find a way to pay Cortland. This may be a little bit of a hot take. I think if the Broncos go out there and let's say they get a veteran guy, it doesn't have to be a big money guy, right? It could be how long does Keenan Allen have left in the NFL? Probably not too long. He's going to be in year 13. That offense in Chicago was awful for the large portion of the season. He still produced at a pretty high level. Let's say you add him to the mix there. You have Cortland,
There's
you
your
have Mark
1A,
Troy,
1B
Devon
right
Vele.
there. Yeah.
That's what you need. I think Cortland will finish his career better than it started. I think Cortland still has a lot of good football left in the tank. Have you seen him? The dude is the most jacked, most in shape dude on the entire roster. It used to be Jonas Griffith, but Cortland is that guy. And I understand people are like, well, we don't want to pay him a certain amount of money per year. Find a common ground, because for him, 18 touchdowns in 2 seasons. He was the producer. He came up clutch in the last 2 years for this Broncos offense that would have been very anemic without him. I think it would be crazy to move on from Cortland.
Yes, sir. I agree. I think we all agree. We want Court back. Let's hope
Guys,
that works out.
I want a quick reaction. And I'm not trying to drive the show, but we're talking 1As, right?
I love it.
Devontae.
If released, 100%.
Yeah.
What,
He could bring a Taco Bell with him too.
Right in his house.
mean, well, especially with all the Del Tacos, 19 of them shut down today in the state of Colorado, by the way. What a terrible, what an atrocious day. No crinkle cut fries with my chicken soft tacos anymore.
So
What
like
are
an
we doing?
Ebola thing? What the hell happened
I don't
in
know what
Colorado
happened.
that I don't know
19 just
about?
went down today at Del Tacos out of nowhere. But Devontae Adams, like he is the route runner. He's got a big body type. He's not 6'4", but he's a good size, good body. You mean to tell me that Devontae Adams wouldn't love to play in Sean Payton's system?
32?
Can still play.
Adams.
Dude,
no, he can play. He's a 1B. He's 1B.
Look at this guy's production for the last, he's the most consistently productive dude, even when he's in a complete dumpster fire of a situation, which he was in football hell the entire 24 campaign between two franchises that were truly in football hell. He still damn near had 1,000 yards. Guy's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of guy that you could bring in, and I think that he would be awesome with Bo. I think Bo would be awesome with him, and Sean Payton and him. I don't know, man. That dude's worth whatever it takes to get, in my opinion, for 2 years.
Yep.
I like it. Big Mike says not paying 20 a year. I don't think Sutton's going to draw 20.
I don't think it would be 20 a year. I think it'd be
close to 20.
15. I think it'd be 14 to 16.
Was he 17 now or something like that? I guess I don't know. But yeah, I don't think the team's going to do that, but it's not my money. I want him. I hope he's back. Let's close that out and let's do some damage. Time for trivia, boys. This is what kept you up at night. Now,
15-2.
I told Cody this at the beginning of the show. I don't know if you were on, Mike, because you showed up 30 seconds before we went on air. It's typical as coaches, just, whatever. Even though I specifically said, hey, come in a little bit early, but whatever, staff meeting with your daughter.
Love that.
These are cupcake guys. No excuses. Cody, you won the toss. I'll ask the question. You give me the answer. You don't get the answer. Coach, you get a chance to steal. If you don't steal correctly, you lose a point. It is a 2-point game.
Ooh.
Here we go. All Everything is from the Peyton Manning era. So easy. Cody, what year? Can I read the damn question first, Cody?
Sorry. Go ahead.
You do this to Sarah when you're on the show? Do you just totally block him like that? Or?
No. Go ahead.
2012. Well done,
I remember
sir.
where I was at when that happened.
Is it someplace you'd like to tell us?
Oh no, I was in class. I was in
Oh,
class getting ready to go, and I was like,
elementary school,
senior year of high school. There we go.
Coach,
I had no clue on that for the record, so this is going to be really bad.
Coach, over to you.
My horseback observation was 2015, which is the worst answer ever. So, yeah.
Okay, record year. How many touchdown passes in 2013? Cody's going to get all these if you don't get them, so I suggest you get on your horse. Do you have a kid that can Google this stuff for you real quick out of the corner?
I do, but I'm not going to do it. 48.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. Cody, would you like to steal?
55.
55. Yes, sir. NFL records, Coach. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe pay attention to the team you cover. I don't know. That's just a suggestion. 55 touchdown passes.
4 in that final game against the Raiders.
Cody, this one to you. What year was Manning the MVP of the league when he was with the Broncos?
2013.
Dang, this is going
to I had that one.
This is going to get... You had that one? Yeah, you're like my mom when we play Trivial Pursuit. Oh, I know that one, but it's not your question.
Yeah.
All right, let's give this a shot. You were probably busy this day, but the Broncos played a team in the Super Bowl 50 and they won. Maybe you heard of it. And what was the score?
55-14. I don't know.
So you weren't alive at all when this took place. Cody, would you like to steal? That's such a terrible effing answer.
It was 24-10.
It was 24-10. Let's go. All right. Cody, this one to you. Who caught the most touchdown passes from Peyton Manning as a Bronco?
Demaryius Thomas, easily.
Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace, Demaryius. Well done, sir.
You've gotten all the easy ones, man.
Did he? Did he get all the
easy ones? It's like the scene in Big Daddy. You
really wild,
man.
This is crazy.
You're kind of right, actually. Okay, but that's why we flipped the coin. Because
did we?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Well, had you not been here 4 seconds before we went live, literally, folks, Coach Mike shows up. I said, hey, talk to him earlier. So I'm like, hey, just come in 5-10 minutes early so I can explain the game. She said, oh, yeah, no problem, man. I'll be there. And Cody and I are just sitting here in 5, 4, 3, and he shows up. So this is why you're getting your ass kicked right now. It's karma.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, God, you should be able to get this one. Peyton Manning threw 7 touchdown passes in one game. What team was that against?
The Raiders.
I'm so sorry for you.
I didn't watch NFL football in the 2010s.
Mike, I don't care.
I didn't watch a game. I watched the Super Bowl, and then I barely watched it.
Have you ever heard of the Revolutionary War?
Yep, I didn't watch it.
But it's history, so you know about it.
Yeah,
right, Cody.
I know who won.
Okay, yeah. Cody, do you remember who that was?
I do. It was the Baltimore Ravens 2013 opener, where it actually should have been in Baltimore, but conflicting schedule with the Orioles.
God, I gave you extra points just for that, but I can't because it's trivia, and that's not how that works. Cody, this is your question.
All right.
What was Manning's first game as a Bronco?
That's tough.
Yeah,
Tough
Sunday Night Football against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's go! Oh my God, this game just got out of hand. Not really, Mike. You're doing great because you ran the show for me, so you got a couple points left to fluff. Last one.
Yeah.
And then I gotta.
Is
guess.
there a chance that I get one?
No.
Okay.
But you got to guess. Within 100 yards, how many yards did Peyton Manning pass for in that record-setting 2013 season? Within 100 yards. Tough one.
5,300 yards.
With coach math, I'm actually going to give that to you. It's not even right, but I feel sorry for you.
No,
I can't. Cody, do you know?
Wait, can you reword the question for me? I'm trying.
It's basically how many yards did he throw for in 2013? You got to get
100 yards. Yeah, with 100 yards.
On average.
I would
for the
say
season.
For the season in 2013, how many yards did he pass for in 2013?
335.
No, for the season.
Oh, for the season.
Total yards.
Oh, I thought you meant like per game. Okay.
No.
Total yards, it was 5,400.
Let's go.
I said 5,300.
I said 53. I said within 100. So I don't know what to tell you, Coach.
Like within
53 is 54.
range?
Even with coach math, which I know you like to use, especially in soccer. That's not how that works. Or hockey.
It's tough, man.
Okay, from a listener, Kodiak Bronco. What year did the Broncos draft Isaac Yadam? Either one of you.
It was 2019, Vic Fangio's first year.
What do you say, Coach?
Let me go.
You don't know who that is.
I got it wrong.
So you're probably thinking like 1960 or something because
I was going to go 2018 on this one.
Let's go.
He got it.
Coach.
He got it. I forgot. Yadam was not a rookie in Vic's first year.
That's right.
Because I remember Vance Joseph refused to play him.
BC
after
Eagle.
Roby got burnt by the Jets.
All right. So
yep.
It wasn't that painful, was it? Come on, guys. I mean, let's all take a deep breath here. Okay? Let's talk about let's do the big debate. And I don't even know that there's going to be a debate, but this is the last time I'm asking this question. So I think we can agree that Andy Reid is the best coach in the AFC West. And now we've got Harbaugh, we've got Pete Carroll, we've got Sean Payton, we got 3 Super Bowl winning coaches. We've got Harbaugh, who took a Colin Kaepernick led team to within a few feet of a Super Bowl. We've got some coaching power here. Mm-hmm. Let's rank them down, shall we? Cody, let's start with you. Andy's first. Bring it down from there.
Andy Reid. Oh, it's tough. Definitely Andy Reid at the top right now. I would go Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh.
Ooh, that is a strong take.
It's tough because they're all they're ridiculously good coaches. All of them, elite level stature, top in wins. It's tough.
Are you put Harbaugh last? Is that what you did? Because is that what you did?
Yeah,
he doesn't have a Super Bowl. I'm assuming.
Yes.
So you're giving a Super Bowl bump to everybody else. Coach, what are your thoughts?
If we're going straight off resumes, Andy Reid won.
No, I'm just asking you to rank the coaches.
Oh, so resume doesn't matter.
I don't give a crap about their resume. I'm just saying rank them.
For me, Andy Reid 1, Jim Harbaugh 2, Sean Payton 3, Pete Carroll 4.
Yeah, Harbaugh is. I think Harbaugh and Sean are where the argument gets tougher for me. I put Sean Payton second, probably because I'm a fan more than I am an analyst, and I'm comfortable in my own skin for that. But he's a hell of a football coach, and he scares me in San Diego. I'm not gonna, wherever the hell they are.
I still call it San
Do it
Diego
all the time.
Jeez. Wherever the
The
Chargers
refs,
are
at,
these
the refs
days.
at the games on the mic still say San Diego.
Do they still San Diego?
Oh, yeah.
First down. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I had somebody call it the Oakland Raiders last week on the show. So, I mean, we're old. We just stuff gets in there and it doesn't get out. Yeah, you know what? I'm comfortable. I think I'm kind of comfortable either way, but I feel like it's, we're not bringing resumes in, but we kind of are. Like, you kind of can't help the fact that, well, Harbaugh was like 44-19. Like, he had a great winning time when he was there. They burn out on him eventually, I think.
Yep.
Him and his Docker pants, and they just start driving everybody crazy. But we'll see what he does. He does scare me, but I think Pete's in a tough spot, and we'll see what happens with that QB. But because if he gets his QB, then it's going to get real interesting, real fast.
I'll tell you, they got some
Outside
decent
of
players.
Bowers, who they throwing to outside of him?
I don't know, man. I don't know what
You say that about the Broncos right now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're outside looking
fair.
in, people are sitting there going, "Who are they going to throw to?"
I'm drawing a blank right now for some
That's a
reason,
fair
Cody.
point.
They
They got what? Trey Tucker?
Who's the receiver that went off this year? I loved him.
Isn't it
He
Jacoby
played
Myers?
Patriots, Jacoby
Yeah.
Myers. If you looked at his numbers this year,
Yeah,
Dude was had a hell
he's
of a
pretty
year.
dang good.
yeah,
He hurt the Broncos last year, not necessarily as much this year, but last year, that first game. Whoa.
Yeah, and I thought that's what little Jordan Humphrey was going to be, like something like that, like this little surprise kind of guy, and it just hasn't worked out. So he's had a few.
If the Broncos can
flash
replace
plays.
Lil Jordan Humphrey with a 1B like a Keenan Allen, even a Mike Williams or something like that, they're going to be drastically better.
You think it's going to happen?
I think they I think they'd be ridiculous to not add a guy.
Oh, they're going to add a
especially at
guy.
this
They're going to
point.
do like another Reynolds signing or something. But hopefully this one works.
I think
out.
I think they'll do a better, like a signing that's probably a better player than Reynolds.
Well,
overall,
I'm just saying at that level, like
yeah,
Reynolds
it's
didn't
not
work
going to be
out,
a big
but
deal.
there's not like they're not going to go get T. Higgins.
No,
right?
I
mean,
that'd be too. That'd be unless they,
that'd be
I mean,
too
if they're
good,
like, hey, if they were moving on from Cortland, the only thing that would make sense to be to try to go get a guy like T. If you're not going to do that, not even worth even mentioning Court.
Yeah,
You got to try the Sutton Sours though; they're good. Oh my god.
yeah. That was a topic of conversation a couple weeks ago on the show. Somebody kept bringing that one up, and I was like, okay,
They're
and
so
then just started
good.
Going
Like
into
many
these-
warheads.
I'm stuck on this. I'm stuck on this Harbaugh Peyton thing. Okay,
Yeah,
because I think as a game planner, as a play caller, I mean, Sean Payton is both of those things. He is a game planning play caller and a known elite designer of pass game. I
Yeah.
mean, elite, fantastic. Jim Harbaugh has hired well. The one thing that Jim Harbaugh does, and where I give him the slight edge, Jim Harbaugh builds his franchise or his college teams. And I worked for him for 2 years at Stanford. His first 2 years there at Stanford. He builds them on toughness, running the football. And that is the one major concern that I still have about the Sean Payton Denver Broncos. Because you look at who just won the Super Bowl, how'd they do it?
Running
Even
the
the
football.
Kansas City Chiefs. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs right now, what was their deficiency down the stretch? Couldn't run the football. And it catches up to you when it catches up to you. Right now, that's my biggest question. Can Sean Payton really lean into the strength of his roster, which is the run blocking abilities of his dudes up front? And if he can do that and utilize a little bit of Bo Nix's running ability as a design quarterback runner, particularly in the red zone, and get a bona fide real number one back, yeah, I believe that this team can do something special.
well, they got to.
I
They got to
see that.
get that.
I don't know.
This offseason, they got to get that. They got to make that happen. Cody, you agree?
Yeah, no, honestly, my biggest hope at the end of the day, I hope they end up with Travion Henderson. That's my biggest thing. I love him at Ohio State. Anytime he touches the football out in space in terms of being a pass catcher, you have the threat of him being able to go all the way. Explosive as a runner. He's one of my favorites. I know everyone's talking Ashton Genty, which that would be fantastic for Denver if they were to get him. But if we're talking realistic, I think him. I even think Ollie Gordon is a name that people aren't talking about enough here for Denver. Dude can run with some authority. So they can get that solved. I think that's the key, because guess what happens? You run the ball well and you milk clock. Like Denver had several drives, and they did it in the game against the Chargers, in which they lost, which they shouldn't have done that. But they had like I think, a 12-play drive and a 14-play drive that took 7 or 8 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, the Chargers scored really quickly. So it negates your 11-point lead at that point. But ball control, swarming defense, that is the key to winning in today's NFL. And you have to have a run game to do it. And you don't have a run game, good luck. You're going to burn out really quickly.
Cody, what do you think about the run game, not just from a personnel standpoint, but from the age-old decision-making process of the play caller to really lean into it? And that's what I have not seen proof of concept.
Yeah. When you got to run it on your play sheet and then you forget to say, oh, shoot, I forgot to turn this around. I mean, John, I think, and I think this is where, this as a coach, like sometimes you have such an internal like belief in like what you're doing. You see the vision for like, okay, this is opening up here. Sean tends to be a little pass happy at times. That's why Bo Nix had, I think, like the 3rd most passing attempts overall this season in the NFL. Because of that, I think Sean's got to get out of his own way sometimes in that regard. I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, I would say that is.
I love
Poor
that.
Lammy.
That's a great call.
Poor Lammy. I'm so sorry. I had to do that. We were getting so deep into the weeds. I just
What
had to
happened?
loosen things up.
What happened, guys?
Per sources.
I did a show on it. Per sources. All right. So just to break it down for you real quick. Day before yesterday at 11 a.m., Cecil Lammy broke the internet by announcing that Rob Gronkowski was in Vail training.
Oh, yeah.
At high altitude, right?
Yes.
Well, and then, Rappaport dropped that nuke on him, and
so did Schultze.
And Schultze did too.
Is that what they got into a fight about?
No. So Schultze went and got a hold of Gronkowski, and actually, he's like, well, I'm in Australia, and so of course on my show, I'm like, was it Vail, Australia, or whatever? I was just being kind of a dick and whatever, and I apologize, but whatever. And then and Cecil had not said anything or whatever, so he finally responded last night, and he said, look, the sources said what they said. I went with the story that I had, and that's really all you can do, right? You can, you take your chances depending on, your sources. You always got to go.
I always feel like the number one rule of thumb, you hear it from one source, you need to figure it out if it's true from another source too. Like you gotta have at least two-factor authentication.
That's the rule. But anyways, Schultze kind of ate that one up too. But no, Ian and Schultze got into a fight because of the Stafford Brady thing.
Was it a random Montana meetup or was it a planned Montana meetup?
It was a freaking whole weekend meetup, and then Ian painted it as they kind of ran into each other at the Taco John's and whatever, and
Tom, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, Dad?
They were auditioning for the newest season of Yellowstone.
Oh, geez, man, that could have gone. Anyways, it's a great time. It's a great time to be in media. I love my Broncos media. I love all media. That's what I do, guys.
Do you guys know Schultze?
Yeah.
Do I know Schultze?
You know him, Cody?
He does.
Yeah, he follows me. We've chatted a few times. Nice, really nice guy.
His I'll tell you what, his inheritance looks a little different than mine and yours.
Oh, I wish I had his.
Oh, that's right, because his family's
Starbucks. That's like this founder of Starbucks.
That's right, Starbucks. And didn't all this crap go down at a Starbucks?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, he literally could have had Rappaport thrown out on his ass. Well, hey, this is my place. Get out.
If you think about it, Schultze can go any Starbucks in the United States and he can start a fight, an altercation. He's like, I got top covered in this place, guys. You realize?
And they'll spell his name right on the damn cup. I mean,
they will.
Got no troubles.
That's written in the bylaws there.
All right, guys. Great show. Cody, Mike, Coach Mike, thanks for coming in. It looks like we got a winner. Coach, I'm going to give it to you because you drove the show for me, so I got to actually do some comments. I don't know how this happens, but it's weird how people win trivia and lose the game. It's because it's not really a game. It's because it's a show. Because it's a show. And I want Cody back. I want him mad. I want him coming back.
And you don't want me back. You want me very happy.
Oh no, you're coming back, and I'm gonna give you like little kid questions, like in the trivia stuff that you don't even have to watch football. It's gonna.
Which Broncos safety wore number 28 back in 2000?
No, he'd never get that. He'd never get that.
Quentin Carter.
Like, who's the smiling assassin?
Steve Atwater.
I mean, he has no idea. So I'm going to be like, what are the Broncos colors? Blue and orange.
Guys,
Yes, for a point.
I'll
We're
tell you
gonna
when
make
I
it
followed
easy.
the Broncos closely. The last 2 years since I've been an unemployed football coach, I've followed the hell out of it. You can ask me anything about the last 2 years, I'll give it to you now.
All right,
But I'm not gonna get out my almanac. My
last
Broncos
2 years.
almanac.
All right, we'll do 2024 trivia next time.
I'm in.
All right.
Love that.
23.
Love it.
Maybe I'm even down for some 23, baby.
Oh, he's going deep. We'll go deep on 23 too. I love that. And I love you, Broncos country. Please check out Locked On Broncos if you have not. Please check out Mike and the guys on the morning. Help me out. In fact,
Quickie.
let's get into that real quick. Coach Mike, give us the rundown. You've got a few shows you're doing. You got one with DMAC. Is it After Dark or
Altitude After Dark?
Okay.
Which is like this live stream podcast. Ran throughout the football season. Got 9 News. Been doing stuff with 9 News morning show, Broncos analyst. And then I've been on with Romy Bean and CBS Colorado for every Saturday night during the football season with the Football Blitz with Nate Jackson and Romy Bean.
Talking about the Broncos.
All Broncos.
Okay, from 23 to 24.
Correct. It's all like modern Broncos. Not we don't really there's not much nostalgia in what we do. So
And the morning sprint with Raj.
yes, and we talk
Which
about
is
the
a
Abs and the Nuggets who
fantastic
lost,
show.
by the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fantastic show. Cody,
Yeesh.
Mile High Sports,
Brutal.
Locked On Broncos, right?
Mhm.
I see
Yeah.
some Bleacher Report stuff too. Like, do you sleep ever? What else is going on with you?
I'm
Give
trying
us
to
the
plan.
rundown.
I'm trying to plan for a wedding right now,
Yeah.
so there's not much sleep going on,
Yeah.
So
All right.
enjoying
All right. So,
it.
Locked On Broncos every day, Monday through Friday, right?
Also something crazy. Coach Mike and I in the future and putting it in the universe, we're going to be calling some Broncos preseason games together. Because here's the thing, Locked On Broncos, guess what? We're part of Tegna. We're part of 9 News. So you know what? It's in
so
the
you guys are
family.
like
Let's make it
basically
happen.
related, right?
It's going to be us and Scotty. It's going to be
Scotty
us
Gray?
and Scotty. Yep.
Let's go.
Let's do
Oh,
this.
it's gonna
Let's
be fun.
go.
Let's
There's
make
the
it happen.
drinking game. Everybody passes out now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. It was a great one. Thank you so much for coming in. Like and subscribe if you would. It helps the show out a ton. And we'll see you next Thursday. It's gonna be fire.